Welcome to the Tennessee Sports Hub. I am your host, Cedar, and this is the inaugural episode of Talkin' Two-Tone. If you're new around here and you like the Titans, Vols, and Grizzlies content, then this is the channel for you, so don't be afraid to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Let's get into this. So today we're going to do a game preview, and at the very end of the video I will do a prediction for the Colts trip to Nashville, which happens tomorrow at 1 p.m. For kickoff, it's supposed to be around 67 to 70 degrees and sunny, so it should be an excellent day for football. We should be able to see the quarterbacks go out there and air it out. But for that, let's go ahead and do a comparison of Matt Ryan and Ryan Tannehill. So Matt Ryan's coming in with 170 completions on 253 attempts. He's got a 67% completion rate. He's got 8 touchdowns and 7 interceptions over 1,765 yards. That combination puts him at an 86.2 QBR. He's averaging about 10.4 per completion, and he's been sacked 21 times on the season. Through those 21 sacks, he has fumbled the ball 11 times. Though they've only lost 3 of them, 11 fumbles through 6 games is kind of a problem. We look for the Titans' pass defense to get a lot of pressure on him and maybe come up with a few more tomorrow evening. For the Titans, Ryan Tannehill has 82 completions on 126 attempts. That gives him a 65% completion rate. He's thrown for 965 yards, 6 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions, which will give him a QBR of 94.2. I think we're going to play 5 games. Throughout 5 games this season, we're 3-2. He has been sacked 12 times, substantially less than Matt Ryan, but still far too many than we'd like to see. He only has 1 rushing touchdown on the season, and he fumbled the ball once in a sack as well. I'm going to say the edge probably goes to, as long as he doesn't get sacked, Matt Ryan, because he is actually playing really well this season. He just has been under pressure on literally every single snap they've had. So we're going to go ahead and move on to the running backs for a comparison. Jonathan Taylor has 81 carries for 328 yards on the year. He's got 1 touchdown. He's averaging 4.04 yards per carry. He has 1 fumble on the season, but we have to keep in mind that he hasn't played the last 2 weeks. 3 weeks ago when he was playing at home against the Titans, he got injured. He sat out the next 2 games, but prior to that, he wasn't really having a great season, at least in Jonathan Taylor's standards. So for Derrick Henry, he's got 104 carries, 408 yards coming off the foot injury last year in surgery. He's got 5 touchdowns. He's only averaging 3.92 yards per carry. Now, for most backs, that would be really good, but for the King, we expect a lot more, nearly 5 yards per carry. He's only had 1 fumble on the season, but luckily for him and for us, he has had back-to-back 100-yard games, and I look for him to make it a 3-peat tomorrow evening. Switching over to the receivers, we have to watch out for Michael Pittman. He has 38 receptions, 417 yards. He has 1 touchdown, and he's averaging 10.97 per catch. Alec Pierce, their rookie receiver, who has absolutely blown up, exploded on the scene. He has 18 receptions this season, a massive walk-off touchdown last week, 271 yards on receiving. He's averaging 15.06 per catch. Every time the guy touches the ball, it's a first down or a big play. Robert Woods for the Titans is our leading receiver. He's got 17 receptions with 204 yards, 1 touchdown, and he's averaging 12 per catch. Behind him, not in terms of yards, but leading the team in receiving touchdowns is Dontrell Hilliard. He has 12 catches for 132 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 11 per average. I don't expect him to have another receiving touchdown in this game. I would say that maybe he'll score a rushing touchdown, look for a draw inside the red zone. We haven't really utilized that this year. I think that could be coming. Paris Campbell, their second leading receiver, has 18 receptions, 169 yards, 1 touchdown. He's averaging 9.39 average. I'm going to say we should probably watch out for him on 3rd down situations, not really in the red zone. I look for him to line up probably in the slot. They'll probably move Pierce outside. I think Campbell will probably be in the slot tomorrow, and he'll be Matt Ryan's primary 3rd down target if he's not got Mo Alley-Cox wide open for a touchdown, which he seemed to have quite a few times a couple weeks ago. Speaking of Mo Alley-Cox, he's got 11 catches on the year for 136 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 12.4 average per catch. Traylon Burks, our rookie receiver, was supposed to replace A.J. Brown, has underwhelmed this season. I see a typo there. It says he has 10 touchdowns. That's inaccurate. I was working on this very late last night, but he has 10 catches for 129 yards, 0 touchdowns on the season, and I don't actually expect him to get his first tomorrow. The Colts secondary is really good, and I don't see, unless that maybe they want to double Robert Woods, why they wouldn't just go ahead and double the biggest guy that we have. Kyle Phillips absolutely exploded on the scene, similar to Alec Pierce. Not as many receptions, not as many yards, and no touchdowns. But I look for him to make a few big catches on third down. He's been great for us returning the ball this year. He's got, like I said, 8 receptions, 78 yards, and he's averaging nearly 10 per catch. So I'm really happy what this rookie's been able to do for us so far, and I look forward to seeing him play tomorrow. Now we're going to switch over to some general stats for both offenses and defenses for both teams. We're going to focus on the Colts first. The Colts offense is averaging 83.7 rushing yards per game, nearly the worst in the league. That is 29th. I do not expect them to have a great game, but I expect them to get near 100 for Jonathan Taylor tomorrow. I think I've got him over 75. For their Colts offense in passing, their 266.2 yards per game is the 5th best in the league, and it gives them 17.2 points per game, which is among the worst in the league, again at 27th. They've had a lot of turnovers, 7 interceptions, 11 fumbles from Matt Ryan alone. Again, only 3 of those fumbles have been lost, but that is 10 turnovers through 6 games from one player. Can't score a lot of points for you doing that. Colts defense is only giving up 121 rushing yards per game. That's 20th in the league. They're averaging 202.7 passing yards per game. That is 10th in the league. And they're giving up 20.2 points per game, which is 14th in the league. Unfortunately for the Titans, they're actually averaging less than 20 points per game scoring. They're averaging 19.2 points per game, which is 22nd in the league. We have 102.8 rushing yards per game, which is 21st in the league, and 175.4 passing yards per game, which is 28th in the league. I do not expect Ryan Tannehill to go over 200 tomorrow. I would not bet on Ryan Tannehill throwing for more than 200 yards tomorrow. Derrick Henry has been getting his feet back under him. I look for the running game to take off tomorrow and get back to what it should be. Our defense is only allowing 103.2 rushing yards per game. That is the 5th best in the league. But our passing defense is allowing 287.6 yards per game, which is dead last in the league. I look for Matt Ryan to cook. He's going to have 300 yards. Go ahead and if you want to set you a same-game parlay, I don't know who you want to take for the money line. I'm going with the Titans. I'm also going -2.5, but I'm also hammering Matt Ryan for 300 yards passing. It's going to happen. Titans defense is allowing 23.6 points per game. Colts offense is only scoring 17.2. I don't look for them to put up a bunch of fireworks, but I do look for them to drive the ball up and down the field and then turn it over. Looking at the injuries for this week, the Colts have several key players out. Sorry about that. They also have several key players coming back. So Kiki QT is out with a concussion. Kwity Paye out with a concussion. JoJo Domann is out for an abdominal injury. Jonathan Taylor is coming back, expected to play off of his ankle injury. Nyheim Hines is also expected to return from his concussion. Julian Blackmon says he's good to go from his ankle, and Deion Jackson is coming back from his quad. For the Titans, obviously, Taylor Lewan tore his ACL. He's out for the season. Zach Cunningham, he has I think it's an elbow bruise. He is out for the week, definitely. Joe Jones, injured knee, he's out. Torrey Carter hurt his neck on a block. He's going to be out. Nate Davis, he is out with a foot injury. Bud Dupree is supposedly playing, but he's got a very sore hip. I'm looking for a snap count on him. There's going to be a limit somewhere. Amani Hooker is coming back from his concussion. I look for him to play well. Kyle Phillips, he's got a pulled hamstring. It's questionable, but I look for him to play. I think they would have just ruled him out if they were any bit worried at all. So I look for Kyle Phillips to play. So our keys to the game for the Colts. They need to protect the quarterback. As I mentioned, they've given up 21 sacks on the season, 11 of them fumbles. That's another key. Protect the rock. No fumbles. They need to be smart with the rock. No interception, but of course that's going to have a lot to do with their offensive line. How are they handling the Titans' pass rush? They need to finish their drives with a touchdown. They cannot allow interceptions, fumbles, any kind of turnover, any kind of stall out, missed field goals, punts. They need to finish drives with touchdowns. They need to get ahead early to limit Derrick Henry's production. If they can keep Derrick Henry off the field and make the Titans rely on Ryan Tannehill, the Colts are in good shape. They need to pressure Ryan Tannehill early and often. They cannot give him a clean pocket. If he sits back there and feels comfortable, if this offensive line gets some mojo, if they start pushing the Colts defensive line 2 or 3 yards off the ball on every snap, well, the Titans are going to have a monster day. Derrick Henry's going to have 150 yards on the ground, 2 touchdowns. Ryan Tannehill, he's just going to stand back there and dice them up. Think and dime all the way down the field. 24 for 32, 212 yards, 2 touchdowns. They have to pressure him early and often. All eyes are going to be on Alec Pierce. Is he going to step up and be what he has been all season? Is he going to be Matt Ryan's #1 target? They are coming off a huge win over Jacksonville. They're hoping that some of this momentum and maybe some of the game plan that they were able to execute in that game can carry over to this game. It's another divisional rivalry, and it's a big game for them. But for the Titans, we have to protect the quarterback. Ryan Tannehill can't be laying on the ground after every snap. He cannot be having 2-3 guys in his face every time he's throwing it. He cannot be throwing it into the offensive line, into the defensive line, who has pushed the offensive lineman 3 yards back into his face and then is just standing there with his arms up in the air, swatting it to the ground. Okay, we have to protect the quarterback, establish the pocket, and hold it steady, firm. We have to establish the run early. That will take a lot of pressure off the pass protection, of course. Our play action can be unmatched when Derrick Henry's going as he should. On defense, we have to absolutely swarm Jonathan Taylor. We have to stop him early. We have to stop him often. He cannot get going. We cannot allow them to control the clock, keep our defense on the field, keep our offense off the field, let us wear out, because we are a very, very slow team in the second half. We have played abysmally in the second half so far this season. We have to continue pressuring the quarterback. We did great against him last time. Everybody has gotten pressure on Matt Ryan this season, except for Jacksonville in this last game. They didn't really get to him that much. Keep pressuring the quarterback, and we should be just fine. Can't have turnovers. Ryan Tannehill's only thrown 3 interceptions. He's fumbled the ball once. I don't remember if it was lost or not. Derrick Henry's had a fumble this season. Cannot have turnovers. No interceptions, no fumbles. We don't need to slow down in the second half. We have gotten ahead early in every game and big, and then we've slowed down in the second half, and it's come down to barn burner nail biters in every single game. We can't afford that. We need to keep our foot on the gas when we come out of the locker room in the second half, assuming we have a lead, and we need to extend it. Our key for other teams has been our poor second half performances. We should have won at least 4 games right now instead of 3. And by 1-2 touchdowns, not even just a field goal, 1 or 2 touchdowns. We've had decent leads in almost every single game this season, and we have blown them in the second half. All of our eyes in this game are going to be on the King. So that's going to be one of our last keys to the victory is how is Derrick feeling? How is this Colts pass rush or rush defense performing? Are they getting good pressure? Are they getting a good push off the line? When we do play action, are they falling for it? All our eyes are going to be on the King. Can he draw the focus of the Colts defense away from Ryan Tannehill, away from our receivers, and have them circle him all day long? Can we get 8 guys in the box like we saw last year and the year before? Or is it going to be 6 men in the box, 5 guys out in coverage? All eyes are going to be on the King. It's all up to him on how we play this game and how the Colts adjust. With that said, we're coming off a bye, so instead of a hard-fought game like the Colts, who had a walk-off touchdown in a very tough game against the Jags, we got to rest last week. We got to sit at home, eat ice cream, have some steak, barbecue. They got to watch the Vols beat Bama. Still not over that. We should be roaring, riling, ready to go for this football game, and I can't wait. One last thing, I almost forgot to make my prediction at the end of the video. I was looking over my script and noticed that the very bottom thing says give prediction, and I didn't do that before I stopped recording, so here we go. You can go ahead and make separate bets for these. I probably wouldn't do a parlay, especially for the Colts one, but I would definitely, if you want, go ahead and mix all the Titan ones together. It's going to happen. Titans pass rush is going to continue to dominate this game. They're going to have 3 more sacks at least. Derrick Henry is going to continue gaining steam. He's going to have another 100-yard game, the 3rd in a row, and he's going to have at least 1 touchdown. Jonathan Taylor, he's going to find his feet in this game. I'm going to say he's going to have at least 75 yards. I'm not positive on the touchdown, but I feel like he's finally going to get it going, get a second on the season. Matt Ryan is going to absolutely torch the Tennessee secondary. Over 300 yards, at least 2 touchdowns. Ryan Tannehill, he will deliver. He's going to have, I think, at least 200 yards, at least 2 total touchdowns, and that's all going to equal up to a Titans win. I'm taking the spread, -2.5. They will cover, and that's going to be that. But with that said, I've been your host, Cedar. If you have enjoyed this, just remember that this is the Talkin' Two-Tone Show. If you liked it that much, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.